Sentai! Zyuranger!
Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger reviews. So this episode, the Zyurangers are on the lookout for some new weapons because they broke their weapons last time up against Dora Skeleton. And also we get the appearance of Dora Minotaur, who obviously was used in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and even made a reappearance in Once and Always, the 30th anniversary Power Rangers special. So, a well-known monster for both sides. Let's see how it goes. The episode opens on the Zyurangers training with some new weapons. However, one by one, they all break as they can't stand up to the punishment. This is a problem as they have the best the temple had in its armoury. Goosh appears with a temple book, stating he may have a solution to the problem. Outside an apartment block, Baza is watering plants as a young boy, Hiroshi, returns home. His mum stops him as he tries to leave his home, saying he needs to study after only getting a 30 on his last test. Watching from the moon, Bandora laughs at the boy's misery. As Hiroshi lies on his bed, he hears Bandora saying his wish is granted before he hears a noise outside his room. Opening the door, he sees a hole in the floor and his mum falling, before he too is pulled in and the hole disappears. Back at the temple, Baza tells the Rangers about the legendary weapons. Thousands of years before their own time, a 5-headed dragon, who when slain, had weapons appear from its necks. The chronicle also tells that when they became one, the weapons unleash a tremendous power. However, the weapons reside in the land of despair, in the underworld. At Baza's request, Geki opens the Tyranno door, and inside they see the land of despair. Dan is eager to go, but Baza warns them many warriors have tried for the weapons in the past, but none returned. They were all turned to stone. In the land of despair, those who succumb to sorrow or helplessness will be turned to stone, and not only that, but from the moment of their arrival, they will have 1 day to retrieve the weapons, or they'll turn to stone anyway. Baza tells them they will need to reach the castle where the weapons are kept: the sword, axe, daggers, bow, and twin spears. Bandora appears to the Rangers before they can enter and says she knows they would try for the weapons, so she has trapped a young boy who they must rescue. Baza explains that demonic beings like Bandora can't touch the weapons or they would suffer a fiery death. Choosing to risk everything to save the Earth, the Rangers walk through the door, flying towards the land of despair. Landing in a large gravel quarry, the Rangers quickly split up. With Bandora and her minions watching from the moon, Buckback gets out a skull-headed clock to count down the hours until the Rangers are turned to stone. Pleased with how things are playing out, Bandora goes to Pleplecorn to see how the latest monster is coming along and is shown a bull-headed figurine being carved. Geki, Goosh and Dan see the castle in the distance as they rush towards it, finding a load of stone warriors in their path, before running on towards the castle. Meanwhile, May and Boy are in a field looking for Hiroshi as they find more warriors that have been turned to stone. Geki, Goosh and Dan climb a gravelly cliff before running on, only to find themselves back where they started, with the stone warriors from before. Dan drops to his knees, complaining of fatigue and thirst, but Goosh tells him to get to his feet. Dan, however, spots a waterfall and rushes towards it, not realising, despite Goosh's warning, that it's a mirage, and he ends up falling down a cliff. As he comes to a stop, hands emerge from the ground, pulling him down. Rushing to his aid, Geki and Goosh free him from the arms, before the three are attacked by a pair of horns protruding from the ground. Emerging from a cloud of dust, the horns are revealed to be Dora Minotaur. Attacking as a pair, Goosh and Dan are the first to rush in, but are quickly thrown off a cliff, leaving Geki to fight alone, and he is soon thrown over as well. May and Boy are still hunting for Hiroshi when they're attacked by a bunch of Bandora's golems. Being beaten back, they both use their dino bucklers as gauntlets, pushing back the attacking golems. As Griforza joins the attack on the pair, the focus returns to the other three Rangers still fighting Dora Minotaur. Transforming into their Ranger forms, they continue to fight, but their shots from the Ranger guns are reflected back to them. May and Boy also transform, fighting off more of the golems as they hear Hiroshi calling for help. May tries to rescue him as she is pulled back by Griforza as Hiroshi sinks further into the sand. Both groups of Rangers continue to fight their respective battles as May finally pulls Hiroshi out and they run from Griforza. From her palace on the moon, Bandora sends down her wand to make Minotaur grow as it charges the Rangers. Calling their guardian beast for help, Tyrannosaurus, Geomammoth, Triceratops, Saber Tiger, and Pteranodon all enter the battle. Geki, Goosh, and Dan all leap into their guardian beasts as the Pteranodon sweeps past, laying down covering fire for Mei and Boy, who are still on the ground protecting Hiroshi. Boy takes on Grafforza as Mei tries to get the child to safety, as Dan attacks the Minotaur using the Triceratops, as the Saber Tiger also uses its tail weapon to blast the Minotaur before leaping towards it. Goosh uses his Mammoth Blizzard as Dan fires the Triceratops horns to entangle the monster in chains before pulling it to the ground. Mei is running with Hiroshi, who cries his mum is already dead and quickly starts turning to stone as Mei pleads with him to not give in to despair. But it's to no avail as Hiroshi turns to a statue in her arms, and back on its feet, Dora Minotaur attacks the Tyrannosaurus. With Hiroshi a statue and Dora Minotaur fighting back, the episode ends. To be continued. Okay, wow, and that was even more of an action-packed episode than the last time. We've got threats, we've got action, we've got fights, we've got all the Guardian Beasts this time. And also the proof that you don't need the Zyurangers in the Guardian Beasts, because the Guardian Beasts are sentient. They have their own minds. So you've got the saber-toothed tiger attacking Dora Minotaur by itself without Boy in. You've got Pteranodon, Guardian Beast, laying down covering fire to help Boy and Mei as they're protecting the young boy, Hiroshi, before he gives into despair and turns into a little statue. But instead of like having to have the Rangers in, like in Power Rangers, in the Zords for them to be able to be used, they're sentient. They are their own thing. So they can do stuff on their own. They don't need the Zyurangers, but they're there to help them, basically. So that's an interesting difference between the two. On top of that, you've got the threat of if they give into despair, they will turn into statues. You can see throughout the episode multiple warriors in the past that have turned into statues before. You've got the legend of the five-headed dragon early on, and it just so happens that out of its necks when it died were the swords, the spears, the daggers, the axe, and the bow. So everything the Rangers could need. Oh, how convenient! But it's in a dangerous place, so there is threat to it. And Bandora knew exactly what they were going to do, so she sends like some kid there to turn into a statue and distract them and whatever else. So she seems a bit more confident than, or competent even, than Rita was in Power Rangers. You know, all Rita ever did was like just moan, whinge, screech, and generally be pretty ineffective, which is why the Rangers were able to beat her every week. In this one, obviously, the Rangers are still probably going to beat Dora every week or every other week, because once again, this is a two-parter. But she does seem a little bit more confident or competent. I really need to get my words out better. But yeah, there's more to it. And again, we've got Child of the Week or Child of the Fortnight, because it's going to be 2 episodes. But he's a statue, so I guess we don't need to worry about the kid anymore. Either way, it's a good episode. The Rangers are still on the back foot because they don't have their power weapons. Whereas, obviously, Power Rangers, they had everything they needed right from the get-go. So, they're still on the back foot at this point. And it's a fight. It's an uphill struggle for them. So, not everything is as easy as it could be. But the Rangers persevere and they will get there in the end. So, we'll see what happens in episode 4. Till next time, guys. And obviously, until then, if you have enjoyed what you've seen, if you think I may be improving, if you think I may still improve in the future if I haven't yet, please hit that like and subscribe. And don't forget that bell icon to get notified of when I bring out a new video. I was about to say if there are any new videos, but there will be. There will be more videos. So please, get the notifications going so you know when I'm actually like bringing up more videos. But anyway, till next time, guys.